What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fit Parent Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how protein will make you lose weight. Ultimately, weight, I'm meaning fat, because that's what we're shooting for, right? We want to lose the fat that's on our body. Okay. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I am giving away $1,000 to one lucky winner on December the 1st. Okay. All you have to do is enter in the giveaway. Now, if you're watching this on the live, I'm going to drop in the comments section. You should be able to see that link. And then if you're watching, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, then it'll be under the show notes. Just look under the show notes and it'll say, here is the $1,000 giveaway. Enter in, you can win, right? You have the chance to win. Announce the winner on December the 1st. So, guys, it's crunch time, right? So it's getting closer and closer as the day goes on, okay? But ultimately, this should be a good episode. I know episode 77, I talked about carbs, and I gave you 10 different carb sources that you can use, that I potentially use. There's one of them, which was quinoa, that I don't particularly like, but I do want to offer that in case someone else wants to try that out. But today, we're talking about protein. Protein. This is probably the biggest thing that most people don't consume on a regular basis. This is one of the biggest macros. Again, macros are your protein, carbs, and your fat, which one of these three makes up your calories, or all three will make up your calories that are on food labels and such. But again, protein is what most people don't consume the most of. And that's critical. And you don't, I guarantee it, you don't. Like, especially if you're wondering why you're not losing weight, if you're wondering why you're not burning fat, if you're wondering why the scale isn't moving, if you're wondering why your stomach is so big, why you have bat wing arms, if your thighs are shaky as you walk, whatever it is, more chances than not, it's because you're not consuming enough protein. All right. And if you are, congratulations, then you should be getting results. And if you're not, then that means you're not doing something right. Okay. You're not doing something right. Being 100% honest here. Okay. But what happens if you don't consume protein? If you don't consume enough protein throughout the day? Well, first of all, you're consuming something else. Okay. You're going to be eating more carbs, or you're going to be eating more fat, which ultimately is going to cause you to gain a shit ton of fat, body fat. This is what it does. This is why most people are overweight. When you go to fast food places, whenever you go to restaurant chains, right? Restaurant chains, when you go eat out, eat takeout, more chances than not, you're over consuming carbs and fats more than protein. Guarantee it. All right. And this even goes to the whatever soda whatever alcohol that you drink on takeout, or whatever soda that you get at a fast food place, right? All of this matters. Okay. Sweet tea, Cokes, Sprites, doesn't matter. All right. Not to mention, if you're sitting down, most people get appetizers, then they'll have their entree, and then they'll want to have a nibble of their spouse's food. And let me try that piece, right? Right. I know I've done that. I know if I've done it, you've done it. And then, of course, then the spouse that's not on the fitness journey, they want to get a dessert. So then, well, you get this dessert and I'm not getting it. But then once you see that dessert, then you're like, let me go ahead and get a bite. Okay, well, there's some calories, there's some carbs and fats you just absorbed, right? All this adds up is the point that I'm trying to make. All this adds up. Right. So if you're not consuming enough protein, this could be key. This could be the main reason why you're not seeing results, why you're still struggling. Right. And why you're always still hungry. When you're not consuming enough protein, you stay hungry. You will stay hungry. Okay. So what happens whenever you do get enough protein in? What will happen if you start absorbing enough protein throughout the day? Right. Focus on protein allows you not to worry about eating the wrong things. I've never had a client say, especially whenever their protein intake is high, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know that a good rule of thumb on where you should be eating, or where you should start eating on how much protein, a good rule of thumb, right? It depends on other variables, but a good rule of thumb is that you should be having 1 gram of protein per body weight, per pound of body weight. Okay. So if you're 100 pounds, more or less, you should be having 100 grams of protein a day. And then so forth of 150, 200 pounds. All right. So that's a good rule of, that's a good way to start. That's a good start. So use that. Take that. I'm giving you some free advice, like for real. Use it. All right. But you got to start absorbing more protein because it's going to help you benefit. It's going to benefit you in the long run. And I'm going to talk about those benefits before I give you the top 10 protein sources for fat loss. All right. But protein is by far the most consumed, non consumed macronutrient. It's not consumed. I'm going to read that. It is so important. It is not consumed. Most people don't consume enough of it. I know I've said that multiple times. Okay. So it is the most underconsumed macronutrient. Again, I'm going to say it multiple times because you need to hear it. You need to hear it. While it is also the most important, it is the most important. Okay. It's the most important out of carbs. Carbs give you energy. It's more important. It's the most important. Why? Why is protein so damn important? Protein keeps you full throughout the day. Okay. I know in episode 44 we talked about carbs, right? I know that I mentioned that, different carbs help you stay full, but protein as a whole keeps you full. Okay. Keeps you full. Keeps you satisfied throughout the day. Keeps your hunger levels at bay, right? Helps boost your metabolism, helps to build and repair lean muscle mass. And again, if you want to burn fat, you got to build muscle because having muscle, it works, right? Muscle works. It's always, your body's always working for you, okay? And if you have fat doesn't do it. It just sits there. But if you have muscle, it helps to burn fat without even doing anything, right? So the more muscle that you have, and ladies, just so that you know, you're not going to get bulky. You're not going to look like a man. So you too can still have muscle, lean muscle, okay? And this is going to help. This is going to help with your fat burning. That's why protein is so important. Protein is basically, in a sense, like Batman or Superman, okay? Straight up. All right, just like the comics, okay? Or Wonder Woman, if you're a woman. I'm not going to discriminate because, I do like the Wonder Woman. She's pretty cool. She's pretty awesome. But it's just like those. It's like a superhero, all right? And what I want to give you, okay, because what I'm going to give you right now are those 10 sources, okay? I'm going to give you the 10 sources, almost like a cheat sheet, okay? So you can write these down, take notes, but I'm going to give it to you right here. Are you ready for it? All right, we're going to start with the first one, which is chicken breast, all right? Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. I'm not a fan of cottage cheese, but you might like it, okay? Egg whites. You can also do eggs. Just pay attention to the yolk. Typically on an egg, a whole egg, a large egg, the yolk is about 5 grams of fat, but you can never go wrong with straight egg whites. All right. You also have ground turkey. You also have ground beef, and I'm talking about the ground beef. That's the 96.4% lean. Like the fat percent is 4%. All right. So it's 96.4. And if you can easily see this on the packages of ground beef. So look for the 96.4. Okay. You can also look at protein shakes. You can also do, they make all kinds of protein shakes now, especially like the Premier protein shakes. I've even seen that they have Equate, which is a cheaper version of it. What else? They have Quest, which is the higher brand of these pre-made protein shakes, and they actually taste pretty good. And a shake typically has about 30 grams, or the ones that are store-bought. And you could also do protein powder, protein shakes in general, whether you're making them pre-made or not, or whether you're making them at the house. Okay. You could do salmon. All right. Some people don't like salmon. I love salmon. I actually love tilapia as well. So those are the two fishes that I recommend straight from the get-go. You can do beef jerky. All right. And you can also do, here's another fish. You can also do tuna packets, whether that be in the can or whether that be in the individual packets that you buy. All right. I'm going to go ahead and repeat all of these options. You have chicken breast, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, egg whites, ground turkey, ground beef, protein shake, salmon, beef jerky, and then tuna packets. All right. I gave a couple of other suggestions in there, but pick one of those. All right. Pick if you want some high quality protein, you can't go wrong with any one of those. All right. More chance than not, most people aren't even consuming any of these a day. Most people are not consuming any one of these. If they get chicken, it's like fried chicken, or that's not the same. Okay, that's not the same. But ultimately, all right, any one of these are going to give you a good quality of source of lean protein. All right. I would try to at least have one of these sources at every meal. All right. Try to get at least 3 to 5 of these options throughout the day. I say 3 to 5 because some people don't like to eat it 5 times per day. But if you eat it 3, that means you have to kind of eat a little bit more. And again, just kind of go back to what I told you. Absorb the amount of grams of protein based off your body weight. That's a good start. All right. I would suggest coming up with some different meal options, pre-plan, meal prep. That's what I teach my clients, and have these foods and just include it into your diet if you haven't already done so. Or maybe this is something that you're hearing this podcast for the very first time and you don't necessarily know how to get started. Start doing this. All right. Select one of these options, and then so that you can get started, because then you don't have an excuse. Then you can revert back to episode 77, and then you have your carbs, right? The only thing I haven't mentioned yet was your fat content yet. All right. But typically fat content is typically low, and that's why we don't really, we'll get into that on another episode. But overall, these are the different ways that you need to start incorporating some protein into your diet, because I guarantee it, again, most of you are not doing just that. All right. So if you feel like you need additional help and you're struggling, okay, you need some coaching, you need like myself, you need Coach T to help you out. Well, trust me, I'm here to tell you that I got you 100%. All I want you to do is just shoot me a message, okay, whatever platform it is that you're listening this on. If you're on the podcast, then of course, just kind of, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is in the show notes, and just message me saying podcast. All right. Other than that, that's it for today's episode. Stay fit, stay strong.